weaknesses. And when we talk about weaknesses, we are talking about negative traits and tendencies. For almost every human being, there may be one thing or the other, not necessarily sinful, but it's a negative trait. Esau had weakness with his appetite. Genesis 25, verse 29 to 34. His stomach controlled his life. He could sell a birthright to eat food. He had little value for eternal matters and great value for temporal matters. Second example, Judas Iscariot. He had weakness with money, area of money. John chapter 12, verse 4 to 6. We saw how Judas Iscariot was angry that somebody gave an offering. And they said that it was not because he cared for the poor. He said, why did they waste this money? It should have been sold and given to the poor. They said he said this not because he cared for the poor, but because he was a thief and had the bag and assisted himself from the bag. Your weakness. Levi and Simeon, they had weakness with anger, temper. Genesis 41, verse 5 to 6. When Jacob, 49, 5 to 6. When Jacob was blessing his children, what Reuben received was a curse. What Simeon and Levi received were curses. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly, mine honor. Be not thou united, for in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they digged down a wall. Anger. I can go on and on. Samson, weakness with women. David. Judges chapter 16 from verse 16 all the way. So you know your weaknesses. Before I go to the fifth one, I want us to note two things about strengths and weaknesses. First, that's A now. Or rather just note in between. To succeed in life, you must emphasize your strength and minimize your weaknesses. If you are going to be successful in life, emphasize your strengths, minimize your weakness. If you are going to succeed in life, empower your strength and disempower your weaknesses. Empower. It's being said in another way. Empower your strengths and disempower your weaknesses. You quickly get angry, maintain malice, backbite people, all manner. Emphasize, empower your strength, and disempower your weaknesses. Let me say a third one that is like unto this. To succeed in life, you build on your strengths and you pull down your weaknesses. You build up your strength and pull down your weaknesses. Anything that is a good trait you have, build on it. Anything that is a bad trait you have, pull it down. And I'll tell you why. When people say, I think you are too full of yourself, I think you talk too much, don't take it for granted. The second thing to note about strengths and weaknesses. And this is very, very terrible. The devil passes through weaknesses to destroy destinies. The devil passes through weaknesses to destroy destinies. If the devil wants to destroy a life or destroy a destiny, he will locate their weaknesses and pass through it. Example. Moses could not enter the promised land because of the weakness of anger. And that anger he inherited from his father Levi. He couldn't enter. He broke the 10 commandments. He struck the rock twice because of anger. Example. David literally had his destiny ruined because of the weakness of women. Immoral weakness. The devil positioned the Beersheba that pulled him down. Example, Judas Iscariot. Judas could not control his love for money until that love for money sent him to hell. Judas, he loved money until he sold the master. He sold the owner of the earth. How can you sell what you don't have? And that money did not profit Judas. They didn't buy anything with it. They only bought graveyard with the money. Is the graveyard an asset? Now, of course, example number 4, you know of Esau. Esau's destiny was destroyed because of love for food. There are people who cannot say no to food. They can break their fast depending on the smell of the food. Is God speaking to anybody here at all? Please, I have seen people. My father in the Lord, God's servant Bishop David Yoriko, told one man one day. The man was with him in the ministry. The man was very anointed and very, very charismatic. But very, very proud and very, very arrogant. And he told this man, he said, calm down with this your pride. If you don't calm down, this pride will destroy you. And the man replied, let it destroy me. And he was actually destroyed. He was actually destroyed by that pride. There are people anger have destroyed. Anger sent them to prison. They kill person out of anger that couldn't be controlled. There are people whose weakness is laziness. They can't. They are unable. They are just so lazy. How many of you know that when a car is parked and you don't drive it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, when you return back, something is wrong with the car? There is something we call disuse atrophy. The dryness of lack of use. Devastation. See, when somebody's hand is not mobile anymore because of paralysis, initially the 2 hands are the same size, but after a while it dries up. When the house is not occupied, after a while it begins to crack. When people are inside, it is healthy. When it is functionless, it begins to crack. Am I communicating at all? See that little girl now that is talking che, and the parents are just watching and say it's a little girl. You look at her and say, uncle, see your big nose. Uncle, this heart is ugly. And they are not talking to the girl at age 3, 4. That same girl will insult the teacher in the class. They will send her packing. It will change school. That same girl will slap the lecturer in the university. That same girl will insult her husband until they send her back home. That talk ruins her destiny. The serpent you don't control today can become a dragon tomorrow. I'm sure you know that the serpent in Genesis is the dragon of Revelation. I'm sure you know that. What manifested in Genesis to Eve as serpent manifested in Revelation as dragon. So that is the area of strength. And to your own self, you must be true. You can lie to anybody. Don't lie to yourself. Face yourself and say, this is my problem. I have challenge in this area. You have challenge in area of money. Don't let them put you as a cashier. Tell them, send me to another department. I mean, they want to finish you. That you have challenge with money area and they made you the head cashier. And you agreed. As if you don't know yourself. You have women problem and they made you principal of female school. And you agreed. You say, no, sir, I don't have the ability to be the principal of an all-girls school. What I need is an all-boys school. Do you understand what I'm saying? A former drunkard got a job in brewery. As a manager or quality control manager, that is, he should test the beer before. Look at your neighbor, say, be real to yourself. Assist yourself to fulfill your destiny. When your problem is talkativeness, don't let people bring talk to you. Because they will be quoting you. It's what you say that they will quote. They say, this is what he said about you, said about you, said about you. Question is, what did you say? They didn't say anything. Meanwhile, they are the ones who brought the matter. So, can you say, that woman is too full of pride? In fact, I'm happy that she is suffering now. And then the thing you said is what they will report. When you know that you have a problem with overtalk, when people bring talks, you tell them, excuse me, let me attend to something. Just be on your way on the spot. Don't make a statement because silence cannot be misquoted. Nobody can say, oh, he didn't say anything, but I know this is what he would have said. Know your purpose. Know your potentials. Know your strength. Know your weaknesses.